Bismillah. Alright, going on to the next state. The next state is called Nasb, and this is when a word ends with a fatha, the symbol that produces an a sound, right? That dash across the top. A word in this state is said to be mansub. So just like how we called words that are nouns that are in a state of rafa, marfu, like people just say, they refer to it as marfu, which literally just means a noun that's in rafa. Mansub is the same thing. It's just a noun that's in nasb. They just call that mansub. And that's represented by either two fathas on the end or one, right? For indefinite and definite. And we also made mention of a tajweed rule, just to keep in mind, that when you have two fathas on the end of a word, you automatically add an alif, right? That's just there for recitation purposes. So we have here kitaban and al-kitaba. Both of them are words that are in nasb. And we know that because of the ending, which is the fatha. So what does that actually mean? So when you see a fatha on the end of a word, usually what's happening is that it's the receiver of the action or detail in a verbal sentence. Once again, we said a verbal sentence is a sentence that begins with a verb. So if someone's doing an action, there's usually somebody who's receiving that action, right? So we can say when it comes to a verb, there's really three parts in a verbal sentence, right? There's the action itself, there's the doer of that action, and then there's the person receiving that action. So Kamela ran home, right? So Kamela would be the doer, run or ran would be the action, and then home would be what she's running to, right? It's either receiving Kamela, or you could say it's the detail in that verbal sentence. Either or works. So let's look at it here in Arabic. So katabat kamilatu kitaban. So just by looking at this sentence, right? And I can tell you right here, just as a heads up, this is a verb, and we'll learn later on how to recognize them. But this is katabat. It means wrote, right? So this here has fatha on the end, which makes it really easy to distinguish that it is the detail or the receiver in this sentence because it's coming after a verb. So this actually means Kamela wrote a book, right? So in Arabic, the verbs usually come first, and then after you'll find the doer. It's a little bit opposite than English, but we'll get into this further when we study verbal sentences. But what you just need to remember is this point here, right? And one more example. خرج عزير البيت, right? So what we said was that beta is going to be the receiver or the detail because it has fatha on the end and it's coming after a verb. So this would mean Uzair left the house. That's it. Uzair left the house. And as we spoke about above, in a verbal sentence, when you have a noun that has a dhamma ending, so that u there, meaning that it's in a state of rafa, then that's usually the doer. And yeah, that is nasb. Now we're going to get on to the one that takes a little bit more explanation in the last part.